Today on 16-Bit Game Review, I look at the Virtual Boy. I play some tennis. Finally, I look at one of the most comfortable controllers in gaming. Hello and welcome. Now, I have a new favorite console, the Virtual Boy. It is fantastic in every way, however, its story reminds me a lot of this little guy's story. Now, you see, when the 3DS came out, it met with a lot of lukewarm and critical reception. It was not very well liked, especially with its small lineup of games, and not a lot of lackluster Nintendo titles to go with it. The same thing with the Virtual Boy. A lot of lukewarm public opinion about it, the critics criticized the heck out of it, and it didn't have a lot of games. However, what Nintendo did with the 3DS was it launched a buttload of games, a massive marketing campaign, and it ultimately turned into one of the biggest new systems ever released. The Virtual Boy died off in 6 months, with a library of 14 games released in North America. It's a sad tale. However, it's all because the system was rushed, there wasn't really a lot of care put into the Virtual Boy, and the fact that the Nintendo 64 was going to release the next year, Nintendo had other priorities. But, is it still a bad system? The Virtual Boy was a Nintendo system released in 1995, in the wait period between the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64. The system was designed to go and create the feeling of 3D. However, their marketing men looked at it and thought it would be a better idea to label it as virtual reality. Not in the slightest. The system was designed to create pseudo 3D, and it does pseudo 3D extremely well, especially for a system which is designed to be playing primarily 2D games. For example, of 2D games like Mario's Tennis, the ball does feel like it's coming towards me, and the character does feel like it's moving in and around a court that's in 3D. As well, for games like Red Alarm, where it is in 3D, you do feel like you're flying around in a area. It is truly a fantastic experience. It is extremely complicated. However, I'm going to give you the Spark Notes version. Basically, you have a 1x240 pixel LED on this as the display, and this LED flashes into a oscillating mirror, which then projects those images into your eye, and that will in turn create a 3D image on one eye, and then you do the same process but with the other eye, and as the result your brain will take both 3D images and convert it into this really detailed and crisp image which has many different layers and above all creates this beautiful looking 3D image. However, because you are shooting light in your eyes at 50 Hertz, it will hurt your eyes. In fact, this system was notorious for causing headaches, and this is the reason why. Well, you see, headaches aren't just the only thing that the Virtual Boy will give you. Other notable causes is eye strain and neck strain. The eye strain comes from the fact that you're flashing lights into your eyes, and the neck strain comes because the Virtual Boy has to rest on this little stand, and in order for you to use it, you have to sort of lean forward into it, putting your neck at a really awkward angle or in a way which you don't really want your neck. So you're going to get neck and eye strain just from using the console. I recommend taking breaks every 15 minutes or whenever you start feeling discomfort. It wouldn't be fair to say that this is the most unreliable system in the world. That prize still is held by the NES, which has a very bad track record with me. The cartridge slot on that is very, very unreliable. But with the Virtual Boy, it has its own little unique set of issues. The ribbons that connect the motherboard to the displays wear out over time, and on both my Virtual Boys, it's happened to individual eyes. One system it's the left eye, and this one, the right eye is completely distorted, and it is very hard to use unless you close your eyes or block the screen, which is sort of counterintuitive for a system that's supposed to be 3D. As well as with this system, for the longest period of time, it wouldn't work because of this little piece of paper that I'm holding onto my finger. Yeah, this got lodged into the cartridge port, and because there's a little bit of metal on it, it refused to read the game. And since there's no BIOS and thus no boot up sounds, I had no clue that the system was working or not. So, yeah, it's not very reliable. The system does have a 32-bit processor, which is pulling double time for both displays. Yeah, so you're going to have a lot of good looking games. I mean, Jack Brothers is fantastic, and the fact that they made something like Red Alarm on the go, it just surprises me. But you're looking into a digital alarm clock. Everything's the same color, and there are a little bit of details which you can see scattered through there, but everything blurs together, especially if you're looking at it for prolonged periods of time. As I said, if you want the experience of what looking into a Virtual Boy looks like, go grab your alarm clock, stare at it for about 15 minutes, and then look away. That's the experience of using a Virtual Boy. This is something that not a lot of people actually talk about. The sounds which the Virtual Boy can make are beautiful. I would actually say that they're better than something that the GBA can do. Yes, it doesn't have MIDI, but the sounds are beautiful. The sound effects have this nice crunchy feel when you fire stuff or you hit something back. And the music for it, oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. Just take a listen to something like the Jack Brothers soundtrack. This is the best part about the entire Virtual Boy, using this controller. The controller's weight is brilliant. It's not heavy, but it's not too light. And it has the perfect balance. Both D-pads are excellent. The fact that there's two D-pads means that you are more versatile in your games and you can have more options. The buttons are nice and thick, and it feels so nice when you push them in, and the two triggers on the back, heck, they're wonderful to use, and a lot of games take great advantage of all the buttons, at least the ones I've used. Telerope Boxer is probably my favorite for the best utilization of the Virtual Boy's controller, but man, just overall, this is a brilliant controller to use. I really want people to go and buy this thing. I really want people to go and use this thing. However, I cannot in good faith go and say to everyone, buy the Virtual Boy, because it's expensive. It's $150 just for the system alone, and then with add-ons and accessories like the stand, the little foam thing, yeah, that's pretty expensive. The AC adapter, controllers, you're going to be about $250 to $300 by the end of the day with a complete system. And then with the games, you're looking at $50 each. And these are for the good ones. And Jack's Brothers, don't even think about buying that. I got that one by a fluke. It's worth $150 to $250 just the game itself. For the price that you have to pay in order to have fun with it, it is definitely not worth it. And I would say go towards emulation or in the near future, if Nintendo ever publishes Virtual Boy games for the 3DS, get it there. Because owning the Virtual Boy, as much as it is a wonderful experience to go and experience, it is not worth the price of admission. I really would like people to go and try it if they can get their hands on one, but please, don't go and bankrupt yourself just to go and play a novelty from 1995. It is really not worth it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you like our video, please check out the 2 annotations below to see some other videos, or check the cards to go and see some of our other reviews. As well, check this channel, subscribe to us if you want to see more content, like the video if you agree with me, or dislike it if you disagree with me, and like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We do stuff there occasionally. Anyways, thank you for watching.